we got the battle of the prospects. Payton Talbot versus Cameron Saaiman.
Yeah, this was a
So
good fight.
Talbot is the truth.
Yeah, he came
Saaiman,
from A1 too.
yeah, he did, yeah. And Saaiman is very good in his own right. He might not be he might be a flyweight, Cameron. He looked very small in this fight against Talbot, and both these guys, hot prospects. They're young. They're on the come up. They've both showcased really cool tool sets and
Hmm.
ability, and have very high ceilings. Talbot had kind of some issues with the grappling a little bit early in his last fight, but then he ended up getting the win. And so it was like, all right, cool, he can fight through that. Um, in this fight, this was the fight that I was looking forward to the most. Um, and it ended up being a beatdown.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be competitive to be entertaining.
No, I thought it was going to be a very cool showcase for both guys to have very cool, like really show off their skill set. And early on, I thought Cameron actually, same thing with Rose, is he's somebody that really understands the open stance versus closed stance and what are your options in each of those stances. And I liked his open side high kicks, his open side body kicks. I liked when they crossed, he was landing more with the jab or when they're closed stance, but it just didn't matter. You could have like that knowledge,
But you
but
can't make reads if you're on the back foot the whole time. Like you can't implement
no.
any of that stuff if like the whole time. Like Talbot from the first spell was like, I'm gonna go forward. I don't care. Like there was a couple of times where Saaiman like kind of crashed into him and they like
Mhm.
almost came against the cage. And even then, Talbot like shoved him off and I think they commented like, oh, he's big brothering him. It's like, yeah, the whole fight is
Yeah,
just like, I'm gonna go forward. I don't care if you're there. I'm going to be there, and you're either going to go
yeah.
back or you're going to go sideways, but I'm going forward.
Yeah, there was a point where he lands in the closed stance, he lands a 1-2 early, like 30 seconds in, maybe 45 seconds in or something like that, and it makes Cameron fade away, and you're like, "Ooh, he's got the power advantage for sure." And Cameron did land some good shots, but it just didn't affect him whatsoever, and there were too few. But like I was saying, like, you can have the understanding of the stance matchups and what works, what does that, but that doesn't you don't just automatically win because you understand that.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother game to implement it. And there's another guy who is trying to implement his game and it could throw your whole thing off. And Talbot just had no respect for him. There was a point,
Zero.
HW Comer brings it up. There was a knee right after this, I think, where Cameron he keeps throwing and then it's just to set up a takedown. And it's just like he's reaching for the single leg. He's not driving like a power double or anything like that. But reaching down for the single leg is a bad move. And I
Bad,
kind
bad
of want to go
idea.
back and see if that's something that Cameron always does, and if it's a read that Talbot came into the fight with, because immediately when he started dropping down and reaching, he's eating knees. Like it didn't seem like he made that read in the fight. And if he did, that's really impressive because it's like he saw it once and
Immediate.
made the read. Um, and there was one where he cracks him up against the fence and Cameron just completely
Falls
crumbles.
backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, and Talbot's just on him, man. And props to Cameron. That dude is tough as nails because there was a few times where it's like two things can happen when you get TKO'd, right? There is the option where you do get put out and your body's done and you don't have control over that. If you're out, you're out. Then there's times where it's too much, it's overwhelming, and you cover up and you stay down and they call a fight and you live to fight another day. Cameron did neither of those. You don't have control over not getting knocked out, but I don't know how he didn't. I don't know how his body stayed in this one, to be honest.
That was a
Um,
lot of consecutive hits at like over and over. Like
yeah.
Talbot may have had the power advantage, but like he wasn't throwing anything with 100. It was like pink, 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 pink,
Yeah.
pink, 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 like one after the other. It was
One th-
crazy.
one thing he did throw really hard, which was like it looked like some anime shit. This was sick too. Can we go back one picture actually, Rich? I wanted to mention this. There was a point where Cameron throws the body kick, Talbot catches it and then throws the spinning wheel kick off of the caught leg and landed it. It's crazy, dude. So he catches the kick here. He spins around his right to land this kick. It's just right over the ear. And Cameron just eats it. I mean, come on.
On
Hey,
the
look,
temple too, right over the ear.
yeah, the spot you definitely want to land that. And he just ate it. But there was two times where they were in the closed stance and I think this might actually be it right here, and it ended up leading to the finish. But in the first round, it happened too, where Cameron would crash into him, and Talbot just goes, pow, just like the quick little anchor punch, Anderson Silva style, lead hook, and just sits him down the first time. Cameron's right back up. Second round, he lands it again. He does it so fast, you almost don't even see it. And he just stands there. It's literally like a little anime pose right after he lands it. And then Cameron goes down. He jumps on him. He swarms him on the ground. Um, he was getting beat up. The stoppage is fine just because how much damage he took throughout the whole fight. But in a vacuum, I don't think it was a good stoppage just because
Yeah.
Cameron literally had his feet on the hips, pushed him out, and was getting up when he stopped it.
He was doing what you're supposed to do to get out.
Yeah.
It
He
was
was just
just
also getting hit.
yeah, like and if he didn't also take a million punches before that, and Talbot didn't
Exactly.
clearly seem like the superior fighter throughout the entirety of the like
Exactly.
yeah, like you said, in a vacuum, like yeah, that's not a good stoppage. But like you watch that fight entirety, it's like yeah,
It's a bit
I
much.
got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I
We
got
don't really need to see more of this. But Talbot gets the win. This was a battle of the prospects. One of those fights where I see some people say, "Why are you having these guys fight each other now? Like, wait till they're late, like they get longer in the tooth and they're up in the top of the division." I'm here for it, dude. Conor
it.
McGregor,
Yeah.
Max Holloway, Islam versus Armin. Sometimes you want to see these two prospects go against each other because there's it also
It's
sets
just,
up like
it's love and Artem. Like Artem Lobov was like the
no,
biggest.
no, Armin Sarukian.
Okay. I thought you said Artem, like Artem Lobov. I'm like, what is going on right
Look, dude, when Islam fought Pantoja, and now they're both champs,
now?
Pantoja knocked him out, huh? But yeah, I like when prospects fight this early because they still have so much future. Despite Cameron struggling so much in this fight, there's things he can learn from this. Maybe not go to the well so much on that single leg, things like that. Where there's a very real chance these guys fight again later in their career, and having this fight will make that fight better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Mhm.
like that stuff. Um,
I felt like this is. I feel like to kind of comment on like what you said earlier. I feel like this might have been like a DJ versus Dominic Cruz kind of fight, where
yeah,
yeah, one was clearly better at this weight class. I feel like you said,
yeah,
Cameron might be able to drop down a weight class and be just as good as Simon is or Talbot is
Talbot,
at this
yeah.
weight class. Yeah, at that bottom weight class.
Cameron at flyweight would be fun, dude. That'd be
Yeah,
really fun. I'm not sure how tall he is, but Talbot, he's 5'8". That's a little tall for flyweight, but he might be able to do it. He looks small in this. Talbot, though, every once in a while you see a guy in a fight where they just hit their flow state immediately, and everything they're doing is working, and they're seeing everything coming. And that was one. This is a very good performance for Talbot. Um, and the type of fights you want to be having when you're 7-0
yeah.
in the UFC. You don't
He
want to be
definitely
learning the
washed
hard
off that.
lessons.
He washed off that you don't start fast kind of narrative, so he
Yeah.
kind of got that going for him. So it's smart. He's listening to like what people are saying about him in the respect that like he's improving on those things and not dwelling on them.
Yeah, yeah, and you could say like sometimes you don't want to listen to that stuff because you try to be someone you're not and you're forcing something, but then other times people can like very naturally address those criticisms
Yeah,
and fit it into their game without trying to force, oh, they say I don't do this. I'm going to show them, and then you end
yeah,
up getting caught trying to take somebody down or something. Um,
exactly.
but yeah, this was a very fun fight. Excited to see both these guys. Excited to see Cameron come back from this one and see what he does. And obviously, Talbot is someone to watch. We could move on to another person that I think is going to be someone to watch.